movies seem to be doing pretty well at the box office. And then, of course, we have Godzilla and Kong, which a lot of people thought it was going to flop. I thought it was probably going to flop. What are the numbers right now, at least when it comes to first quarter? When it comes to the first quarter of the year of 2024, how are these studios doing? Well, let's just say Disney hasn't released shit, so they're still in a struggle. And we got the box office. Who saw Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire? I sure did. You guys saw my reaction and my full review, and I was pleasantly surprised by the movie. Pleasantly surprised by first half being just like, okay, this is exactly what I expected, but then it started getting intriguing halfway through, and then that final battle was just absolutely batshit crazy, and I really enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoyed it. And projections had it lower than what it actually made, and I'm like, all right, I guess the Monsterverse, it ain't going anywhere, folks. $80 million domestic. I think it was projected at like 50 to 60, but yes, $80 million over the weekend and 115 international, so almost $200 million worldwide. Not too shabby. It seems like people were just like, hey, whatever. Looks like a fun movie, and to be honest, like I said, after getting through a grueling first half, in my opinion, the second half really captured my attention. I was like, okay, I'm digging it. The sad fact of the matter is, though, when it comes to the box office, is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire had a 65.4% drop. That hurts. As a Ghostbusters fan, to me, I'm like, all right, well, it crossed 100 million, but worldwide, but I think it cost 100 million, so it needs to make over 200 million more to probably warrant another movie. But at the same time, I'm like, well, maybe there's not gonna be. Maybe that's gonna be it for Ghostbusters movies. I know there's an animated series that's gonna be coming out on Netflix apparently, so at least there's something with that. The franchise will live on. But yeah, Frozen Empire might have just put it into the ground. I don't know if they're going to be able to resurrect that one. Well, I wanted to talk about this because we're all kind of wondering, like, you know, especially with the pandemic that happened, and then with movie studios struggling, box office struggling, it just seemed like, you know, in the past like year and a half, well, maybe not even the year, but it just seems like this year, and even though that Ghostbusters Frozen Empire had a pretty big drop weekend to weekend, other movies have not, and other movies seem to be doing pretty well at the box office. And then, of course, we have Godzilla and Kong, which a lot of people thought it was going to flop. I thought it was probably going to flop. Doesn't look like it's going to flop. But what is all the numbers? What are the numbers right now, at least when it comes to first quarter? When it comes to the first quarter of the year of 2024, how are these studios doing? Well, let's just say Disney hasn't released shit, so they're still in a struggle. Warner Brothers, look at that. Warner Brothers coming back. The ship is turning around because Warner Brothers, $483.8 million. Universal, $312.1. Sony, $192.2. Paramount, $169.4. MGM, $116.3. There's your top five right there. Disney hasn't really released anything. I think they've done re-releases. I mean, this is only the first quarter. You got to remember, it's the first 3 months. But it is kind of crazy that, yeah, okay. So $1.5 billion, I guess you could say, has been accumulated at the box office. So that's what's been happening. And, you know, we still got some, I mean, Disney is going to get their money when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine, not to mention there's a lot of other things. So Disney is not that far behind, that's for damn sure, when it comes to where their box office nut is going to be. They just haven't released anything yet. But I think Warner Brothers almost at $500 million already between Dune and then, of course, and then you got Godzilla Kong. I mean,